He woke to an Apache family standing on his land. What came next was unbelievable. The first thing Daniel noticed wasn't the sound. It was the silence. No birds. No wind brushing against the dry grass. No hum of distant traffic. Just stillness. And then, a shadow moved past his bedroom window. Daniel's eyes snapped open. For a second, he lay frozen in bed, staring at the ceiling, his heart thudding like a warning drum. He lived alone. His ranch sat miles away from the nearest neighbor, surrounded by open desert and low hills. No one came here. No one should be here. He slowly turned his head toward the window. Another shadow. This time, closer. Daniel shot up from bed. "Who's there?" he called out, his voice sharper than he intended. No response. Only silence. He swung his legs off the bed, grabbed the old rifle leaning against the wall, and stepped toward the window. What he saw made his breath catch in his throat. Standing just outside his house was a family. Not just any family. An Apache family. A man, a woman, and a young boy, maybe 10 years old. They weren't dressed like modern travelers. Their clothing looked traditional, handmade, weathered, almost as if they had stepped out of another time. And they weren't moving. They were just standing there. Watching, Daniel opened the door cautiously, rifle lowered but ready. "Can I help you?" he asked. The man stepped forward. His face was calm, but his eyes carried something ancient. Something heavy. "You are on our land," the man said quietly. Daniel frowned. "No, this is my land. I bought it 5 years ago. Legally." The man shook his head slowly. "You bought the paper. Not the land." A chill ran down Daniel's spine. He forced a small laugh. "Look, I don't know what's going on, but if you need help or—" "You should not be here," the woman interrupted. Her voice wasn't angry. It was warning. Daniel glanced at the boy. The child was staring directly at him. Not curious. Not afraid. Just knowing. "All right," Daniel said, trying to stay calm. "If this is some kind of misunderstanding, we can figure it out. There's no need for—" "You heard it last night," the man said. Daniel froze. "Heard what?" The man stepped closer. The land. A cold breeze suddenly swept across the yard, even though moments ago the air had been completely still. Daniel's grip tightened on the rifle. "I don't know what you're talking about." The boy finally spoke. "You will." And then, without another word, the family turned and walked away. Just like that. Into the desert. Daniel stood there for a long time, watching until they disappeared beyond the ridge. "What the hell was that?" he muttered. He went back inside, trying to shake it off. But something felt different. The house felt heavier. That night. It started. At first, it was faint. A low hum beneath the floorboards. Daniel sat up in bed. What now? The hum grew louder. Then, a whisper. Not outside. Inside. Inside the walls. Daniel jumped out of bed, heart racing. Hello? No answer. Only whispers. Dozens of them. Layered. Overlapping. Ancient. He stumbled toward the hallway. The floor beneath his feet felt warm. Too warm. And then, a loud thud echoed from beneath the house. Daniel froze. Slowly. He looked down. The ground shifted. The next morning, pale and shaken, Daniel did something he never thought he would. He went looking for them. Hours passed before he finally spotted the Apache family near a distant ridge. You were right. Daniel called out as he approached. Something's wrong with the land. The man didn't look surprised. It is waking, he said. What is waking? Daniel demanded. The woman stepped forward. This land is not empty. It never was. The boy pointed toward the ground. There is something buried here. Daniel frowned. Like, what? Bones? An old settlement? The man's voice dropped. No. Something older. They led Daniel to a spot just behind his house. A patch of earth he had never thought twice about. Dig, the man said. Daniel hesitated, but something inside him told him he had no choice. He grabbed a shovel. Minutes turned into an hour. Then, clang. The shovel hit something solid. Daniel cleared away the dirt. What he uncovered made his blood run cold. It wasn't stone. It wasn't metal. It was a carved surface, covered in symbols. Ancient symbols. And they were glowing. Faintly. Pulsing, like a heartbeat. The boy whispered. It remembers. The ground began to tremble. The symbols lit up brighter. The whispers returned. Louder than ever. Daniel stumbled back. What is this? The man's face turned grim. A gate, he said. To what? Daniel shouted. The man looked him straight in the eyes. To something that should never be opened. The glowing intensified. Cracks spread across the surface. The earth split. And from below, a deep, inhuman sound echoed upward. Not a roar. Not a scream. Something far worse. Something ancient. Something aware. Can we stop it? Daniel yelled. The woman looked at him. You have already started it. Daniel's voice shook. Then how do we fix it? The man stepped closer. You must give the land back. Daniel blinked. What? This place was never meant to be owned. Only protected. The boy added softly. If you stay, it will take you. The ground shook violently. The crack widened. A dark, shifting shape moved beneath the glowing surface. Daniel felt something pulling at him. Calling him. Whispering his name, Daniel dropped to his knees. For a moment, greed, fear, and disbelief battled inside him. Everything he owned. Everything he worked for. Gone? Or something far worse. The ground split open further. A black, twisting form began to rise. Daniel made his choice. Take it, he said. I don't want it anymore. The moment he said those words, the glowing stopped. The whispers vanished. The ground sealed itself, as if nothing had ever happened. Silence returned. The man nodded. It is done. Days later, Daniel left the land behind. No fight. No regret. Just relief. Before he drove away, he looked back one last time. The Apache family stood in the distance. Watching. Protecting. As they always had. And for the first time, Daniel understood. Some land is not meant to be owned. Only respected. If this story gave you chills, imagine what still lies hidden beneath places we think we own. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Because the next story might be even darker.